On the table today, bring out the titanium supports as we are bringing out the 65-ton Titanosaur Dreadnoughtus. Hey everyone, this is Squirrel Stampede. Thank you much for watching today, and I am Dan, and look at there, Jurassic World Dreadnoughtus, the third Mega Sauropodian dinosaurian on the table. This is absolutely huge. Look at the length of this one. What do we do with all this dinosaur? Well, how about we jump it with LEGO Stuntz? What? That's weird, but what a trail going down from neck to tail. I think that's gotta be a stunt to test out. The Dreadnoughtus is simply huge. So let's get into this dinosaur and learn what we can before we get crushed.
Squirrel Stampede!
Dreadnoughtus box even largus. Crazy size here. Target even had this crammed under some shelves. I could not even pull it out. It was so large and jammed. I think it was a load-bearing box. But there we have on the table the third giant sauropod from Mattel Jurassic World. We've gone through a Brachiosaur, we've gone through a Podosaurus, and now the Dreadnoughtus. Are they seriously saying this thing is 5 feet long? I know they say 85 feet in length in the real world of 65 to 85 million years ago. Well, let's see what we got in here. Very curious how they packaged that much length of dinosaur in this huge box. And they did it, of course, by pieces. My gosh, this guy is gonna be enormous. Is that a leg or a tail piece? Oh, I love the coloring. It's a much richer, dark. Is that navy blue? Gonna need some veterinary care here. What do you say, Zia?
Start by removing wrappers.
Yeah, good call. All right, let's clear these wrappers off this giant Dreadnoughtus. All right, cleared off as best as we can. This certainly will grow 5 feet, I imagine. This is just one small segment of tail, about the size of my screen dimensions here. Yeah, I think they're kind of cheating with this one. This adds an extra foot real easy. Look at that piece. Then the head of the Dreadnoughtus. Look at this. It is, again, just as long as that other tail segment. And we've got some articulation in there in a couple different points, I believe. Maybe those are just how it's constructed. Right here I see a line. Okay, we can move that. There's got to be some articulation here and there. This one I feel like is just how it was constructed. But a nice, very rich, dark black, maybe navy blue, a little blue in there, dark gray, with some tan khaki stripes going down its back. And then there, the head of the Dreadnoughtus. Opening and closing mouth, teeth painted, looking good. Some assembly required. And here is the, well, wait, what is front and what is back?
That's front, that's back.
All right, thank you, Zia. And I think I get it now because up on the top here, we've got this shoulder. If we can get a better view up here, this shoulder piece up here, you can see a massive hinge, and this is where we're gonna crack up if we can. I don't know if we have enough leverage yet. It's a little tight without the neck. Zia, maybe you should not be standing under the giant Titanosauropod.
Good point.
So I think once we get the neck installed, the rest of the dinosaur's head will have a little more leverage in moving this joint. You can see another massive hinge joint right in here. The legs are all on very sturdy hinge joints. Feels pretty similar to the Brachiosaurus. I'm going to have to bring in the Brachiosaurus here and see if it is the same body part. It could very well be. I imagine this giant torso of a sauropod isn't something that needs to be produced very often, and so whatever they have at the mold factory is gonna go. Let's start by adding on the tail. That always seems to give it some good balance. Watch out, squirrels. And let's see here. Gonna need some help, everybody. What do you think? This one?
No.
Or this one? Once again, this one? Or this one? Or how about this one? Oh, it's Zilla's squirrel. Don't worry, Zilla, we won't take your tail off. Okay, so I think from the rage I hear across the screen, it's going to be this one that we are going to place in. Just match up the khaki stripes on the back there, and we should snap this enormous tab into place. Oh, and even this has a little bit of articulation in there built in. So let's snap this in. It's probably a one-time fit. Once this in, it will never come out. That's quite solid. And then we'll continue to walk our Dreadnoughtus over. Big Gray Squirrel is almost off the side of the table. So, whoa, back the dinosaur train up. Don't go any farther or you're going off the table, Big Gray Squirrel. I wonder if we could add the head and neck piece continuing on. That would just be really weird, wouldn't it? Okay, so we will just get the smaller segment, this piece right here. There is no paint to identify which way it's going other than the key. There's a little bit of a notch on the back here, and it's pointed back toward my cloud wall. And we've snapped it in, and I think, there we go, we can rotate it to match the shape of the tail. Oh wow, how far is this tail? Just this tail is crazy. So this tail section is 24 inches. That's 2 feet. It's really more than 2 feet because the tail is curling. This thing could be like 30 inches long. That's absolutely crazy back there. Are you getting that, Barry?
Oh yeah, we're seeing lots of things.
Okay, well let's back up this giant Dreadnoughtus so we can fit on its neck and head. And I think I'm going to need a larger studio. Watch out, Landry. Oh no, the camera! Oh wait, that's not the primary camera, that's our side camera. And continuing just a little bit more, and now we can attach down the neck and the head of the Dreadnoughtus just up here. Should be pretty easy. Obviously not this way, this way. And we'll match this up and snap her in. And there we go. Due to the limits of my camera field of view, this is all we're gonna get today. Just kidding, we'll figure something out here. Fear nothing. What in God's great giant toy construction build are we seeing here? Enormous. I can barely get anything on film here. This thing is so huge. Let's check things out from the Squirrel Skycam. I don't think that's helping. Yeah, we are way up high and we still can't get a full view of this enormous Dreadnoughtus. Look how big this is. It's way past the table space. Way past it. Maybe if we back up this way. I'm glad you have reverse safety alarm there, Dreadnoughtus. That's quite kind of you. It's just so huge.
And now for Squirrel Stampede's most accurate sharpshooter, the Longbow Man. And Blueberry, this challenge may be certainly beyond the reach of the Longbow Man's abilities. I believe that may be true, Strawberry, but he has been working with heavy weights these last few weeks. I've noticed his finger strength conditioning is second to none. Today, the Longbow Man will be shooting this apple from the top of the Dreadnoughtus' head. Shh, he prepares his shot.
And can we get a closer look up at that head? It's so way up there. There is the Dreadnoughtus's head, almost whale-like in a way. It's so large. The way the mouth opens up, I feel like I'm looking at a whale. I mean, it's probably the size of a whale. Yellow beady eyes looking back at us. Just a really friendly face, actually. I really like the face here. And the extra little toothy detail just makes this light up. Alright, she is so large, I pretty much have to come off table with her to show the scale of this, probably the largest, or maybe the longest, dinosaur Jurassic World item. I don't even know if I can get her on the full screen here by leaning this far back. Look at there, almost have her. Just, whoa, there goes a light. She likes to knock over lights with her tail. So let's try that again one more time. Watch the light, watch the lamp. There is the scale of the Dreadnoughtus. It is just longer than tall. I mean, this is crazy. Crazy distance here. By the way, I wanted to test out this tail and see if it had any bendability to it. It doesn't look like it. I think it's just some kind of really soft plastic. It kind of bends right back to where it was. There she is though. Just an enormous dinosaur. Great articulation to hold her up. All this neck articulation. There's a side neck ability to move her head from side to side, which I believe the Apatosaurus had something similar. We can check that out in a minute. And this just, there you go. Trying to loosen that hinge up. It is very tight, but the Brachiosaurus's hinge eventually loosened up, so I think over time that will loosen up. And you don't want it to be too loose because then the Dreadnoughtus's head would just blah and crash. So there you go, and I think I just found the scan code on the back too. Yeah, oh, it's huge. It's like the size of a small dinosaur. The scan code is so large, it's the size of a small pack, so we can scan that in just a little bit. There she is though. A quick comparison. Ah, the light goes down again. Hang on. Alright, I thought maybe the Dreadnoughtus would have the same torso section, body torso. Is it a torso for a Apatosaurus? But it looks like they're different. The Brachiosaurus has a much taller shoulder base, gives her a little more extra height there, whereas the Dreadnoughtus is just simply long. So these are actually different torsos. If I can reach through the tail here, there we go. There's the two. Oh gosh. They're still both enormously large, but okay, so right now we've got the heads. We've got the heads matched up, and you'll now see the tail of the Dreadnoughtus. It's a good almost 20 inches longer. Maybe that's just crazy. The Brachiosaurus tail is so stumpy now. I wonder if that's accurate. I wonder if they shortened that up. Brachiosaurus may have taller head reach, maybe? I don't know. I think the Dreadnoughtus has her over that. But you can kind of see here the two compared. This is a workout. We can start a new, like a dinosaur workout video where you're just like, all right, everybody, 5 dinosaur reps. Titanosauropodo up now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Well, that's actually really tough. If you did about 20 of those or 100 of those, you'd be huge. And one more comparison, if I could just not hit these lamps. And so here is last year's Apatosaurus, and the Apatosaurus might be the most reasonable in scale. I can get her pretty easily in screen, not so heavy. You could lift up twice as many of these as maybe one of these, but you can see the scale maybe. Oh, this is the worst video of scaling ever. No, it's the best video of dinosaur scaling ever. I like how that lamp in the background almost looks like a third Brachiosaurus, but okay, this is so difficult. There we go, the heads are together, and as we extend, you can see the Dreadnoughtus has another good 10 inches. It looks like the Apatosaurus had a pretty good length to it actually. They started giving it that tail extension for that extra little bit of reach, but certainly not as heavy and as big as the Brachiosaurus, so it's just everywhere. Back on the table. Okay, let's now check out that dinosaur scan code. Where was it again? Somewhere on the back near the hind legs. There it is. Quite the size of a squirrel. And loading up our Jurassic World Facts app, I've noticed it has been updated again. It is now branded for Dino Trackers. More great dinosaurs incoming. So great front page here. We now have the globe here of the Earth we can rotate around and see where each dinosaur is located from. This is a step up from Dominion. That app kind of went backwards at that time, so now we're going forwards again. Let's give our Dreadnoughtus a scan, see what we can learn about her. And as always, a really quick scan now. I love the new scanners. And there she is, looking quite enormous. We can rotate from around and around. Even the cameraman here has to stand back. She is so absolutely huge. Can't zoom in, but we certainly need to be far. And she's on a riverbed, just enjoying a nice day. There she is. Can we hear her scream? kind of like a cow. Hard to hear her. I hear the mosquitoes more than I hear the Dreadnoughtus. Where do we find the information about her? So not as much now. I wish they crammed in a little more than they used to. Diet of plants and weight of, is that 6 elephants? For some reason I thought it would be more than that. There's a little person standing next to the Dreadnoughtus, and she was found over in Argentina. But there you go, quite gigantic. One and only Titanosaur. The rest of the apps are for augmented reality, but it's still fun to collect a dinosaur. Well, you certainly don't try to do a Dreadnoughtus review without jumping a guy in a bathtub over it. Set number 60333, Bathtub Stunt Bike. Inside the box. And there is our bathtub wonder. Bubbles, McJump, flaming rubber ducky. Actually, pretty cool. If you walk away with anything from this review, the bathtub stunts guy is just the best. I'm not really sure about the logistics of this stunt, but the bathtub stunt biker knows what he's doing. Cheer him on, everybody. Oh, might need a redo on that one. Oh, closest ever. So that is the extreme, over 5 foot long Dreadnoughtus. That is just crazy scale. Let's bring in something I can fit on camera a little bit easier. We've got the Ampelosaurus today to look at too. The Ampelosaurus, am I correct on that pronunciation? I always get things wrong. This sauropod, much, much smaller. Is it a sauropod? We're gonna have to check that out as we move along. This is a massive action Ampelosaurus with, what do we have? I think I see a button back here for opening and closing jaws. Oh, and up and down for up and down neck reach. I don't believe there's sound with this one, which is good. I prefer just action features, really. Too many batteries to keep up on, right? On the back of the pack here, an image look at the total neck attack of the Ampelosaurus. Oh, and even some side to side with that neck attack. Also a scan code. I like the scale of this one. A little easier to work with today. I won't have to go to the gym to lift it. I also like how they've given the dinosaur a little bit of an incline ramp on there. Must be the shorter legs up front they're trying to compensate for. Let's get out of pack, see how she stands afterwards. It's like a baby. She's really quite cute. She stands out really well on store shelves. Every time I see her, I want to pick up like 3 more. There we go with the back tail, opening and closing mouth, lift down for head up and side to side. So a lot of movement with these. Almost puppetry with it. You can almost do puppetry work with it. There's so many movements. And legs much longer than typical on a sauropod in a way, I feel. And those have pretty good articulation up front and back. And those back hips too. They move about. They don't really pull out. Jurassic World tag on the bottom there. Really nice looking dinosaur. A reddish brown color with a brown back paint. And her head has some nice detail too. They added just a little bit of gray blue below those yellow eyes, which really make her stand out a little more. And opening and closing mouth again. Mouth always agape, but press the button down and it closes the mouth. Good yellow eyes again, and all these scales and spines, even scales and spines on the side of her body. Large scale print here on her hip. Lots of detail to this one. They're getting really good at it. And there should be a scan code I think I see right under there. Kind of tight. And let's give her a scan. Loading away. There we go, the Ampelosaurus. Standing on back hind legs, smashing down. Very, very bright orange almost in this version, this screen version. But close to the figure, close enough. And some rotation around her. What fun. Oh, she's so cool looking. This one is one of my most favorite dinosaur releases in a while. I'd never heard of the Ampelosaurus before, but I'm trying to learn a little bit about her. And this will tell us something, so, you know, not too big. Where'd Zia go? There she is. She was tail whipped off the table like everybody else. Pretty close to the 3 3/4, 4-inch action figure scale. It looks like right there. I think that's almost the exact same. A weight of 3 elephants, which does not feel correct because this guy up there was 6, right? Or was it 8? It still doesn't seem exactly right, but the diet of plants, and this one found, it looks to be Europe. Maybe let's do a few more fact checks on her. So according to a quick Google search, the Ampelosaurus dinosaur is a titanosaurian sauropod dinosaur, like we had just saw with Dreadnoughtus, from the late Cretaceous period of what is now France. Okay, so France. Its type species is A. antisis. A possible unnamed species has given Ampelosaurus an age reaching to the latest Cretaceous from about 70 to 66 million years ago. Mass about 1,800 pounds and length 49 feet nose to tail. Very interesting. I'm so glad Mattel and Jurassic World pull these new, more recent, interesting dinosaurs out of a hat. They're so cool to learn about. And let's see some more LEGO stunts. Sky jumping Dreadnoughtus.
Look, Mom, no hands.
Okay, in case you're wondering about the LEGO City Stunts, set number 60338, Chimpanzee Smash Stunt Loop. This is the one and only single stunt loop pack available, runs approximately 70, pretty crazy. I believe it pretty much has to do with all these transparent stunt loop pieces. Also available out there is a double loop pack with a green loop and orange loop, but that stunt set will cost you double. I wasn't brave enough to go that far yet, as I wanted to test out just one loop, and so far it's been a little bit hit and miss. Bubbles here had a tremendous time flying over it. I don't think he is balanced right for it. Whereas the included stunt biker with this pack, Wings McGee, I believe her airplane bike is a little more balanced to take on the loop. It might be these wings up front, it might be a little more heavy balanced. For whatever happens, I can get her around the loop a little more often than Bubbles over there. Yeah, sit down, Zia, it may be a long one. There she goes, whoa! And obviously included the other part of this loop build is the chimpanzee, so let's add that on and see if we can jump it. So let's position like so, and see if our pilot can do a nice flip over into the chimp stunt zone. Oh yeah, she definitely lost her protective visor on that last jump. It's difficult to keep some of these mini pieces attached. She really likes to go the other way. Note to self, build a gigantic Squirrel Stampede catching net over on that side of the table. Yes! We've perfected the chimpanzee smash stunt loop. Get the chimpanzee in the face. The fists fly down. Pretty spectacular. I kind of feel like it's a 1 out of 10 thing. I might be in a difficult spot though. If you play on a nice open field surface, you might have better results. And definitely, different bikes behave differently. And that is the great Titanosaurian sauropod Dreadnoughtus. What do you think? Absolutely impressive. I think my favorite out of the Brachiosaur, Apatosaurus, and now the Dreadnoughtus. I think that one it turned out the best. It's incredible. If you liked today's video, please give us a squike, a squirrel live, and a squammet. What was your favorite stunt bike jumping over Dreadnoughtus? Thank you so much for watching. That's what I have to say about that.